what's cracking, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. My name is Krisha, and today we are going to be talking about OCO orders on the Bitget exchange. Now, what exactly is an OCO order? Well, an OCO order, guys, very simply broken down, means one cancels the other. Okay, now these orders can be super nifty if you know how to use them right, but it's that, knowing how to use them, that people often get confused with. So today we're going to be breaking that down. And in addition to that, I will also be executing, well, a few of these orders on the Bitget exchange. That way you get a better grip on what it really entails. Alrighty, now of course it goes without saying, if you guys enjoy any of this content in today's video, if you think it might be helpful to someone else, make sure you smash the like and also share the video, because that's the only way that YouTube loves us as much as you guys do. Okay, it's a very simple equation. I'm sure you guys are already fed up of hearing it from every freaking YouTube channel that you watch. Another piece of well, information is that I will be including timestamps in the description below. So if you find my humor a bit annoying, well, you may skip to the good part. Timestamps in the description below. And now the third thing on the agenda before we get into the meat of, well, today's video is if you look at the description just right now, on the first line, you're going to see a referral code. Okay, now that referral code will get you discounts on your trading fees. Yes, it also gives us something, of course, but I've been doing my taxes for the past, well, 1 week now, and I've been like looking at all these orders that I've been executing on various exchanges, and I've been looking at the fees, and those fees, man, like when they build up and when you have to do that total that equal to sum and then go through your entire log and then you get that final value, I was sort of shocked. Okay, so that's what I'm saying, use a referral code because you get discounts on those trading fees, and guys, they freaking add up. They add up big time. Okay, now, so if you don't want to use ours, use someone else's. The one perk about using the one in the description below is that you can get up to $8,000 in deposit bonuses if you, well, on your first deposit. Now, there are rules to that, which I will also be attaching in the description below. I'll make like a separate sort of sheet just to show you how to go about getting the deposit bonus. Alrighty, but use a referral code. It helps out with your fees big friggin' time. Alrighty, so now with that, we can jump into, well, what is an OCO order and what exactly is possible with it, and then we'll be going ahead and executing bids on the Bitget exchange. Alrighty, so let's jump in. Perfect, now let's go ahead and break down those OCO orders. Now, this is my notebook, which I usually use to scribble in, but today I'm going to be using it for something more constructive. Today we're going to be breaking down those OCO orders, right? What exactly is an OCO order? Now, once again, guys, for those of you who just want to know how to execute the order on the exchange, I will be including timestamps below. Okay, so I don't want to hear people complaining, but like, you talk too much. Why don't you just jump right into it? I could have done this in 2 minutes. But anywho, it's not for you then, okay? This is an explainer for those of you who do not know what you're dealing with here. Now, what exactly is an OCO order? It translates to one cancels the other. Now, people often use these orders as a stop loss and a take profit, and they wrap it up in one order. Now, yeah, they're very beneficial for those, right? However, there are also other instances where you can use a OCO order to get in your bids. Alrighty, especially their conditional bids. If this, then that bids. Don't worry, you don't need to get too intimidated. We'll be breaking down the scenarios in layman terms, and then I'll be executing it on the exchange. Alrighty, so scenario 1. An OCO order can be used to set in a stop loss and, okay, inclusive of, and a take profit in one order. Okay, so in one order. Now, when would you ever need an order like this? Well, let's just say that you are bullish on Bitcoin and you bought one Bitcoin. Okay, you bought one Bitcoin at 10K. And you're saying price is going to go up to 11K and you want to cash in on that 1K profit. Right? However, you also want to go out with your friends, right? You want to go out with your family or whoever you want to go out with. You want to go out, but if price goes up to 11K, you want to be able to take your profits. However, now you are a smart trader and you also understand that every trade has its risks, and you know that, hey, you know what, while you have a thesis that price goes up to 11K, there is also a chance that price could drop further down. Right? And for that, you want to be protected, especially if you're not going to be there to handle your position. So for that, you're going to want a stop loss. So you tell yourself that, okay, I think price gets up to 11K. I want that 1K profit. I'm going to have my take profit order. But if price breaks down below 9.9K, I want to have a stop loss in this instance. I don't want to take too much of a loss on this trade. Okay, so now you have a stop loss and a take profit that you want on that one position. Now, why is that not possible already on the exchange? That's because if you go ahead, if you buy one Bitcoin right now, and you decide to set in a take profit on that order, that essentially locks your one Bitcoin in at 11K. Okay, so yeah, you'll have that order on. Great, you know, you have your take profit. But now, if you go ahead and you try to set in a stop loss for the same one BTC, the exchange will not let you do that on two separate orders. Okay, and that's where an OCO order comes to play. An OCO order, guys, essentially packs in two orders together. Right, now how does this work? Right, so now this is what an OCO order looks like on the Bitget exchange. Okay, this is what the order card looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and say OCO order card. Right, we'll be going over this right after. So I'll be getting into the exchange and I'll be setting in an OCO order that sets in a stop loss and a take profit. But the way this works is that the fixed price, guys, is your take profit. Okay, and these two fields right here, which is your trigger price and your order price, that is your stop loss. Okay, particularly it is a stop limit order. Okay, it's a stop loss and it's a limit order. I'll be going over that. Don't worry, don't get intimidated. All right, so there's two orders here. This is order 1 and this right here is order 2. And the amount in this example that we're going over is going to be 1 Bitcoin. Now there are limitations to this. You cannot have a take profit for a separate amount. So if your take profit is 1 BTC, your stop loss is also going to have to be 1 BTC. You cannot have a take profit for 0.5 and a stop loss for 1 Bitcoin. Right? It has to be the same quantity. Right? And that's why you only have one field as far as the quantity is concerned. As soon as you click on this button, on your open orders list, you'll get a total of 2 orders. One order is going to be your take profit. The second order is going to be your stop loss. They actually break it down in 2 orders for you as soon as you execute this bid. Okay, now the way it works is that if price first gets up to 11K, your take profit, guys, gets triggered and your stop loss order immediately gets canceled. Okay, so that just goes right off of the open orders list. Gets canceled immediately. Right, so as soon as one gets executed, the other one gets canceled. However, if price drops down first to 9.9K or lower, your stop loss in that instance gets executed first. Okay, upon which your take profit gets canceled. And that's why it's called one cancels the other. So as soon as one of the order gets executed, the other one gets canceled. Righty, but this essentially allows traders to have a take profit and a stop loss on any one given position. Alrighty, now with this, guys, let's get into the exchange and let's try and execute one of these orders. Perfect, now here we are on the Bitget exchange. Now I already have some tokens in my wallet. I got some 244 BGB tokens in my wallet. I believe it's the Bitget native token. It's got decent volatility on it, so I figured that I'd, execute a OCO order on this, specifically because I wanted to sort of trigger immediately. That way you guys get a good visual on how it plays out. Okay, now just a quick side note, I am trading the BGB USDT pairing on the exchange. Now I tried executing an OCO order on the USDC pairing before this, and for some reason there was an error. So I'll be contacting the exchange, and when I do get updates on, well, that fix, I will let you guys, I'll just attach it in the description. So just look for notes in the description every time I want to update something on the video. Okay, so just a quick sort of heads up. Now, BGB USDT, let's go ahead and set the OCO order in. Now, when you get on over to this interface, you're first going to be presented with the limit orders card. Okay, to set in an OCO order, you need to jump on over to the third tab right here, which is OCO order. It's going to be limit orders, trigger orders, and OCO. Click on OCO. Okay, now the thing is that I have gone ahead and bought BGB, okay, with the thesis that, hey, BGB is going to start trending up. Okay, and I'm going to start being in profit. And when BGB goes up, I'll be taking my profits. Right, now the thing is, but when it comes to really taking your profits, what is the underlying action I will be doing there? Well, when I'm taking my profits, guys, I'm going to be selling the token. Right, I'll be selling BGB to get my profits. However, on the flip side, if BGB starts breaking down further, I'm suddenly bleeding on the position, at which point I don't want to be a part of that trade anymore, right? So at which point I'd want to start taking my loss on the trade. Like, nope, I'm cutting my losses right here. I'm getting out, right? But now what's the underlying action I'll be doing while taking my losses? Once again, guys, it's the same action. I will be selling BGB even to take my losses. Okay, so on a long position, when you're bullish on an asset, and irrespective if you're taking your profits or stopping your losses, the underlying action that you're going to have to perform is a sell action. So while setting your OCO order, okay, in scenario 1 where you're trying to take your profits and stop your losses, it's going to be on the sell side. Okay, so you're looking at the sell card right here. Now, what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to first fill in the blanks, and then I'll sort of break it down for you, okay? So let me go ahead and just fill it in very, very quickly. Okay, perfect. I've gone ahead and I've filled in the blanks. All right, so now let's break down the various fields that I just filled in. Remember, from the explainer that we just went over, the first row, which is your fixed price row, is your take profit row. Now, your take profit, guys, ultimately, it's always going to be higher than what price is at right now, right? Price is currently sitting at 0.404. My take profit is lower. Why is it lower? Jesus. Come on, Krisha, where's your head? Okay, let's change it to 0.407. Okay, that is going to be my take profit, 0.407, which is going to be higher than where price is sitting at right now. My stop loss, okay, is going to be lower than that. But more importantly, let's go ahead and break down these two fields. Now, these stop loss fields, it's a stop limit order. Okay, that's why you have two fields. Stop limit orders, guys, are conditional orders. Okay, now just to break it down to you guys in layman terms, essentially what this is saying, or rather what I am telling the exchange, I'm basically telling the exchange that, hey Bitget, if BGB comes down to this price right here at 0.4032, which is my trigger price, as soon as price gets down there, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go ahead and put in a sell bid for me at 0.40221. Okay, just go ahead and smack it in the order book. Alrighty, so that is the stop loss order. And that is essentially what a stop limit order looks like on various exchanges. All right, so the first row, guys, is your take profit, which should be higher than where price is at right now. Okay, and the second two fields is your stop loss order, which is your conditional stop loss. If this, then that. If price gets here only, then place my bid here. Alrighty, now remember, the amount has to be the same. The amount is going to be the same. For me, I'm going to execute for all 100% of the BGB that I bought, which is 244 BGB. Now, you don't have to do that. If you just want to sell half, then you can just go ahead and toggle it down to 50%. But the one thing you need to note is that if you're doing 50%, irrespective of what is hit, whether it's your take profit or your stop loss, it's going to execute for only that 50%. You cannot change the quantity on that. Okay, so I'm going to do a whole 100%. I'm going to say go ahead and sell BGB. Now, as soon as I hit the sell BGB button, I'll be presented with this pop-up saying, okay, order type, it's an OCO sell order. My fixed price, which is also my take profit, is at 0.407. Okay, my trigger price is at 0.403, and order price is at 0.402, essentially confirming all the numbers with you. And it actually gives you a little disclaimer here telling you exactly what it is that you're about to execute. It says when the last price is less than or equal to 0.4032 USDT, a sell order of 244 BGB will be placed at the price of 0.40221. Okay, chances are it's going to be top order and it's just going to execute like that, but that's essentially what we want. That way you guys get a good visual on what's happening there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say confirm. All right, now as soon as I hit confirm, it says order succeeded. And now that our order has been executed, let's go ahead and scroll down and look at our open orders. So now you can see here on the limit orders tab, you can see that we have a sell order. It's an OCO limit order at 0.407. Now this was our take profit, right? However, now if I go ahead and jump on over to the OCO tab right here, okay, let's go ahead and click that. You'll see the OCO order that I have on this list. It says your limit order right now is at 0.407, which is our take profit, and the trigger price. Now, these two columns right here, that is our stop loss order, okay? It says anything less than or equal to 0.40320, go ahead and place a sell bid at 0.40221. That's our stop loss. Now, I'll be honest. I don't like the way they sort of broken it down. I know some exchanges where they actually break it down in two orders. That way you have a better sort of visual on what's going on there. Technically, what you're seeing on the screen right here is two orders. Okay, it's just sort of wrapped in one. I just wish they they broke it down into 2 orders, at least through a visual perspective. I think users would really sort of appreciate that. I know I would, right? That way I know exactly what it is that I'm executing. Now, because I have experience on other exchanges, I know what this is doing. However, for anyone who's new might not understand this. But essentially, guys, if you're new here, don't worry. This is essentially 2 orders packed in one, okay? This column right here, that is your take profit. These 2 columns right here, that is your stop loss order. And what this is telling you is that the status of this order is not triggered just yet. Now, hopefully when it triggers, we will get closure on this and I can show you exactly what's happened there. Now, for the sake of brevity, what I'm essentially going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and amend the stop loss order. That way it sort of triggers immediately and that way you guys know what's going on. And what's cool about this is that you can go ahead and amend your order, okay? You can see that there's a modify option right here. If you go ahead and click it, you will be presented with this pop-up and it allows you to only amend your stop loss. So what I'll be doing, essentially, I'm only going to amend the trigger order. Okay, that way when I amend the trigger order, it'll immediately go ahead and place a sell bid for me at 0.4022. But notice, if 0.4022 gets onto the order book, guys, the top buy order is higher than that. So we'll just execute on market. Okay. Now what I've done is I've gone ahead and modified my order to set it to 0.40425. Now I'm doing this primarily so it executes immediately. That way we can wrap this up and you guys get to see exactly how this got executed. Okay, so 0.40425 and I'm going to say confirm. Okay, I've hit confirm. Now you can see that this order has been amended to 0.4025. That is a trigger. As soon as price gets down to this number, and yeah, it got executed, right? Price got down to that number. My stop loss got executed and my take profit got canceled. Now, just to show you how that sort of played out, I'm going to go on over to my order history and here's the breakdown. Okay, so the first order, if you look at the first row, guys, that was the OCO trigger order. That was the stop loss order that actually got executed. Can you see it? No, because my big bobble head is in the way. Let me just fix that and let me go ahead and just, well, there we go. Okay, perfect. You can see the status, which is the last column right here. Okay. So now the first row, guys, that was the stop loss order. Okay, you'll see that that was the OCO trigger order. The price on that was 0.40221, remember, which was our stop loss. And if you look at the status of that, that was the one that got executed. Now, because the stop loss got executed, what did I tell you was going to happen to all the take profit order? That one gets canceled immediately. Okay, so if you look at the second row, you can see that was the OCO limit order, which was for 0.407, right? That was our take profit order, if you remember. Now notice the status of that. That got canceled. Okay, and that's why it's called one cancels the other. Because it was the stop loss that went through, the take profit order gets canceled immediately. Okay, now there are just a couple of notes that I want you guys to, well, sort of take. Right now, this is that OCO order card that we went through earlier. Now the fixed price, guys, which is the take profit, right? So that was the take profit. That needs to be greater than, it has to be higher than the current price of the asset that you are trading. Off asset. Okay, it has to be greater than the current price of the asset. I mean, it only makes sense, right? That's your freaking take profit. You don't want to be taking your profits lower than what price is at right now. So that's going to be a take profit order, has to be greater than the current price of the asset. As far as the stop loss order is concerned, that trigger price right there, okay? Also, we'll call it the TP / stop loss price dot price. Okay, trigger price needs to be less than the current price of the asset. Because once again, it only makes sense, right? It's, well, it's your stop loss. It should be lower than whatever the price is at right now. Okay, so these are the two sort of notes that you need to take, because just in case you are not in adherence to, well, these limitations, your order does not go through. You'll just probably just get an error message saying that, no, your price needs to be lower than or greater than, depending on which one you messed up on. So yeah, these are just two notes on really setting in those OCO orders when it comes to really setting in those take profit and stop loss order and jam-packed in one order. Okay, so that's one note. So now with this out of the way, we can get into scenario number 2. Now, of course, guys, if you have any questions regarding, well, using OCO orders to set in your stop loss and take profit, Let me know in the comment section below and I will try and help you out to the best of my ability. Okay, unfortunately, I lied. I'm gonna have to cut this video short because I noticed that we're already at the 19-minute mark. So instead, what I'm gonna be doing is I will be showing you how to use an OCO order to set in a conditional bid, okay, but in the next video. So what I'll do is I'll do a separate video and I will attach it to the end cards. That way you can just click on it and you'll be taken to scenario number 2. For those of you wondering, okay, what is scenario number 2? Well, it's simple. Say that we have Bitcoin at, well, you want to buy Bitcoin, okay? However, you are waiting on a pullback. Bitcoin here is sitting at $10,000 and you want to see a pullback to 9K and you're only willing to bid 9K. This is you at 9K. You want to see that pullback. However, Bitcoin is sitting at 10K. And now you have like this thesis saying that, okay, if Bitcoin gets down to 9K, I'm going to bid Bitcoin. But if Bitcoin gets up to 10.5K, all right, you have a thesis because your TA is on point and you're like, it gets up to 10.5K. I think this is what we're doing. We're going to start going up. And as soon as we get to 10.5K, I want to be a buyer here, right? Yeah, fine, you'll be breakout buying, but that's your thesis. You're saying, no, 10.5K is that point. That if we get up there, price is just going to shoot all the way up to 14K first, and then 20K, and then 25K, so on and so forth. So you want to be a buyer here. Okay, however, you're not going to be on your computer to manage your bid to actually get in those positions. So instead, what you do is you use an OCO order to execute this particular sort of trade for yourself. Conditional bids. If price comes down here, get me in at 9K. However, if price goes up, gets up to 10.5K, get me in here. A buy here. All right, so I'm going to show you how to use an OCO order to execute this trade setup. And with that, I will see you in the next video. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the mango way, trade the easy way. Ciao, you guys.